What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the 10th album by American hip-hop duo Insane Clown Posse. Basically, this product is called The Tempest, and it came out Basically, this product is called The Tempest, and it came out in the late winter of 2007. So within the flares behind it here, particularly the pitch behind it, is this is a return of the Mikey Clark productions that happened in the earlier ICP albums as far as this first going to happen. Definitely feels like a restored Juggalo type album. Now, it's not to say restored in terms of the product, the other products not being good, but it's just the pitch of just missing the vibes from, like, if you miss the vibes from Bizarre and The Great Malenko and, like, the Amazing Jekyll Brothers, some of those type ones. The Bizarre albums, the Great Malenko, the Amazing Jekyll Brothers, some of these type ones, Riddle Box within these ordeals, this kind of pitch for us, and it's a return to form. Now, the only thing about it is, I look up on Wikipedia, it says that this does have Mikey Clark Productions, but it's just the fairest part saying that he did not work directly with them, but he also helped produce Shaggy 2 Dope's 2006 solo. He also helped produce Shaggy 2 Dope's 2006 solo album within those pitches. FTFO as far as those pitches kind of happen. So I look within the pitch for saying you need to get some more of these. But this is a classic album within these pitches. Definitely recommend the product. Now the previous ICP album I reviewed prior to this one in the summer of 2024 was basically Riddle Box as far as this first album. So definitely excellent within the pitch getting towards this one. I wanted to see what later in past like because there's a good assortment of ICP kind of Juggalo lore that kind of happens when you think of like anywhere in the 90s and like the early 2000s, but it's starting to get past like later eras as far as those pitches happen. It's been quite some time since I've covered ICP within these pitches in terms of like past like the particular early 2000s type fair within pitch. So it's kind of the product. This is an odd spell of an album here, just the pitch, because just the fair as far as fucking with this particular one is just different because makes you question what late 2000s kind of Juggalo lore was kind of like. Now, I did recently review within the products. You may not see it for a decent while, but it's kind of pitched for saying I reviewed Dark Lotus from 2008. That was a good, nice one. That happened around this time. That's something they did as well. But within pitch, I am going to start getting to late 2000s kind of Juggalo type fair pitches like that. Some of these type ones. Eventually get to Bang Pow Boom. Some of these type ones in the pitch because pretty much I've more or less reviewed every ICP album nowadays in the pitch minus Hell's Pit and the 2002 album that they dropped in those type fairs. But between Riddle Box from 1995 to now this album from 2007, I reviewed virtually everything else, and also I reviewed ICP's 2015 albums as well. So it's just the pitch I've covered more than within the aspect. It seems more or less like it hasn't just within these fairs, but I have gotten to a good assortment of these and a good flair like the Dark Lotus album. So definitely needs to have within within these pitches. Now, the particular fair about this album, this is typical type fair, not quite as carnival-like, but definitely within the pitch, it just has some gas type tones. Just very much like, basically, I would say like getting a Twisted album, but this has packaging. This is of the same variety as Twisted within these ordeals. It's kind of the pitch as far as getting towards it. But the fair about this is just not as completely, I mean, this is a very tormented type album. Definitely like the aspects here within the product as far as these tones going to happen. Gives me vibes of Cottonmouth Kings. Gives me vibes of Twisted. Gives me vibes of Dark Lotus within certain type aspects. But in terms of like the flair as far as fucking with ICP within these formats, very surprised there wasn't a single off this product in fairs like that. It's just kind of ordeal as far as saying it just kind of happened haphazardly. Not say haphazardly in terms of quality, but this is the pitch. I recommend all 16 of the songs on here. 10 out of 10 album, but it's just the pitch as far as saying this strange question what the Juggalo lore was kind of up to in 2007. It's just a commonplace. I have not reviewed terribly many within those assets. I did review I have also relatively recently reviewed within a relative type sense Blaze Your Dead Homies 2007 album within songs type pitches with hit songs like Toe Tags and Body Bags. That's something within that relative type fair as far as those pitches kind of happen. Just talking about Clockwork Gray as far as those pitch kind of go, but it's just kind of the pitch. Just more or less being able to say, considering that ICP are the head honchos, obviously within the Juggalo type lore, it's just an easy kind of update that needs to happen just to re-up with them as far as these fairs going to happen, just kind of within the product of like all the sound stuff that's been happening within the pitch as far as the viciousness of it. But it's just par for the course, just the aspect like the viciousness to kind of within the ordeals, but it just kind of does it in a more lackadaisical, that's not quite as full bound. I mean, it's ferocious within the aspect, but it's just not this is seemingly more wayside, which is surprising within these products. But yeah, it says it's interesting that it says that this is Wikipedia says that this is the group's 23rd overall release. That's pretty good considering from 2007 that they had 23 in some degree of fashion type products. It makes me question some of these other type ones. I've reviewed a good several of these, then pitched, but they go back. I do realize the ICP goes as far back as like at least 1992, so it's within pitch. But yeah, considering that there were no singles out this product, I'm just going to go in with this particular fair as far as these pitch going to go. It's getting towards some of these, like if I was still Mexico City's a nice one within these aspects. It's like a drooping and stuck, kind of in between, kind of out of town passage. I'd say here within the products of it, just pickups. I would definitely say within the product, just some stoner mingle. I'd say just good, good song grab like some. Good song grab like some solid food as far as those aspects gonna have. So just within the pitch, as far as talking about it, just the particular fair, just like a relative. This reminds like Cypress Hill within certain type pitches, but it's just kind of the format of just kind of more juggalo type fashion behind it. Just kind of something that just feels like relatively just glazed within the aspect as far as like the tone of just really having some smokes in your system. So those type fairs, so just particular products are just one of those type ones where you would just have like a road trip in the sense of just getting tore up within the aspect, just hella blissed as hell. It's a product if you're actually going to stay the night in a differential type town. It's a product if you're going to stay the night in a differential type town, kind of the product as far as getting towards some of these type ones. It just basically, it's not as if it has to full bound. It's not as if it has to full bound be Mexico City, but just even looking after a spot where you're just going to be kind of in a more town hop type fashion, where it just is differential from like the normal type fashion. Not so much like a neighboring town where it's familiar, but just the kind of the pitch as far as saying to something a little bit more. Where you have to adjust and acclimate a little bit, so it's good type tones. Humdrum Boogie's a quality one within these aspects, as well as like a blase afternoon and spares kind of moments within these pitches as far as these fairs going to go. This good for some Doritos and memes, pitches like that. Good song to touch base with as far as those fairs going to have and get some home chatter with the homies, pitches like that. Standard pair. Standard chatter and re-up with the homies as far as this pitch going to happen. Just get some bills paid as far as this pitch going to go. So just miss the pitch of it. Not so much like an awkward type song, but just kind of blasé within the aspect. It is kind of a more vanilla romp within some of that pitch. Just kind of ho-hum within those aspects. Just basically like the tone of the song, Humdrum Boogie's kind of aspect. Just vanilla kind of pattering. Vanilla kind of pitter-patter as far as this pitch can have. Just good type tone for that aspect behind a good... Good type tone for that aspect behind an excellent flair, I'd have to say. What about not? There are some Cottonmouth Kings, kind of familiar type ones within these pitches. Like I was saying, What About Now is an example of that. It's like a vintage, kind of early 2000s Cottonmouth Kings type club jump to kind of get within the aspects of it here. Just out. To be a good choice for like a buzz single pitches like that. I had to say this is just out for a crazed ass kind of nightage as far as those pairs would kind of have. So dismiss the pitch. This very much feels like the DVD warning that you purchased when you get those DVDs back in 2001, 2004, so on type aspects, especially more in the early 2000s. But just good type pitch, some good. It's a good synthy kind of Cottonmouth Kings kind of jump as far as those pairs going to go. It's another one that kind of has that flair about it. Trying to figure out which one. Trying to find which one it is. Oh yeah, it's The Party. The Party's kind of like that as well. It's like a good early 2000s kind of DVD warning, Cottonmouth King, similar kind of club head trip. Cottonmouth King, similar kind of club head bop. The Party is similar to that within these fashions, as well as like a good early 2000s kind of DVD warning, Cottonmouth King, similar club head throb as far as this pitch can happen, just a social bop as far as this pitch can happen. So it just has some good glistening type of appeal. Do you like the product? I mean, it's within the fashion. When I said this is more of a wayside type of appeal, it's just the aspect. It just is. This feels more of like the aspect of more Cottonmouth Kings, more so than ICP having this particular format. Thinking of songs by ICP, like when you think of the Ned and songs, some of the ones, the more kind of spastic. I mean, it just. This doesn't feel as insano kind of clown-like within the pitch. It just feels more within more stoner rap kind of. This kind of aspect just doesn't have as much clown, as much full bound with it. It's kind of the pitch, but I did like the fact that this has Mikey Clark Productions on here. It's not that it This doesn't feel as funhouse like. This is the only thing I'd say within those pitches. Not to say it's not as full, but it's definitely blistering type out an easy kind of classic. But it just feels like a offshoot of like ICP as far as this pitch can happen compared to like things when you think of like vintage ICP within some type fires, paying attention like Amazing Jekyll Brothers, Great Malenko, the Bizarre albums, some of those type pitches within the format, Riddle Box, some of these type tones, just a little bit differential within the fair. Makes me question how the 2002 album and Hell's Pit kind of are some of those type pitches, but just from the product. But it is blistering. It's just ICP in a more relative to like the late 2000s type fashion, which is interesting because I didn't know it's full bound. Growing again is a nice one within these tones, like a nice drifty and summer breeze, sun gaze, kind of get within the products of it here. Just some neighborhood strut, I had to say, just good for simple kind of lunches, pitches like that. This one's kind of another commercial type one with an aspect. It kind of reminds of like Lithium by Nirvana, just a little bit more summer shine. Feels very picnicky aspects like that. Just that's sort of is good for mild and sarcastic kind of summer romps pitches like that within some type ordeals. So excellent type pitch. Alley Rat's a quality one within these tones as well. It's like an uptown and grizzled kind of swash town hop vibes kind of get within the aspects of it here. Just have like a warm beer and some drugstore mingle as far as this pitch can happen. Just good to get some sun as far as those aspects can happen. So just missed the pitch. Kind of interesting for some of these type ones. It's kind of a number of reasons why this doesn't feel like an ICP type. It's kind of a number of reasons why this doesn't feel like an ICP type album, because just the more spastic kind of carnival type noise in the pitch. I mean, it's interesting that this is called The Tempest when it doesn't have as much like the funhouse kind of traditional kind of ringleader type stuff that kind of goes along with this. This kind of pitch, like Alley Rat, kind of feels more of like Scarface and Brother Lynch Hung Some stuff. Folks is picking up a 40 ounce, and Growing Again feels more like picnicky kind of stuff like that. Something like something like the Beatles, songs like Mexico City and The Party and What About Now feel more like Cottonmouth Kings. So it's just kind of ordeal as far as saying that. But in terms of like the song, I'm going to try to find some ones that do feel like ICP within. There are a few that feel like ICP. I'd say more or less. This one in particular, this. The song The Sky Is Falling feels like Twisted within Sunny Step Products, so it's just the ordeal behind it. But Bitch I Lied is a quality one within these aspects, like a glared kind of neighborhood wooziness, kind of get here, just smoke a couple. I would definitely feel like with juggalettes nearby, pitches like that, there's some juggalette kind of, it's easy kind of like a juggalette kind of cozy fit, I'd say, within the aspects of it here, within these pitches, just kind of for some kickoffs as far as this first going to happen. So dismiss the pitch of Bitch I Lied kind of feels like vintage ICP, just in a newer type sense with an aspect, just some neighborhood wooziness, like I was saying, just easy kind of have some initial smokage in your system, some of those type products within the fair. Yeah, just kick off type most the initial kind of social dab, just the product, the kick your shoes off a little bit, just kind of the kick off your shoes a bit within the aspects for those tones gonna have the sparkiness, like some memes getting flying pitches like that, the conduct, the like the get up for the start off as far as those pitches gonna have just a good fair as far as those pitches gonna have within the aspect, this good type product of it. If I Was a Serial Killer is a nice one as well within these products, like a good psychotic ballad similar to like Rainbows and stuff from the Bizarre album as far as those fairs gonna have. It's like some good weekday gore as far as those pitch gonna have. So Dismiss the Pitch is another type one, kind of feels more like a relative kind of a radio jingle in terms of like an ICP type sense, very similar to like some of those type ones, just pretty damn well identical to Rainbows and stuff. There is at least one more on here pitches like that. I feel like Growing Again's kind of like that, and there's another one within these products. I think it's oh yeah, I Do This. Some of these type ones have that particular phrase. So there are some ones that do at least try in like a haphazard, kind of more sardonic type sense to kind of get ICP more within the spotlight of getting like that particular fair. Just something that if things were more agreeable with the format, kind of having like this particular fair kind of happen to be the fair. I mean, ICP is similar to like Blood on the Dance Floor. Some of those type folks, it's just the product that just is real kind of pulling teeth in within those aspects, trying to get like ICP on the radio pitch through this. Not like they don't have the quality, it's just the pitch as far as saying for some reason. It's just always been a snafu for it. But they do have some ones that do have like those breakthrough. They have plenty of these with like Dark Lotus and some of these type albums. It's a pitch. Rainbows and stuff is a good type one for some of that. This particular song, If I Was a Serial Killer, now obviously within the song title, but this is the pitch of it. And I Do This is like that. Speaking I Do This. Speaking of I Do This, like a sunny, drudgy kind of post-hour break free, I'd say within the products of it, after like some typical kind of music, I'd say within pitch, as far as those pairs going to go. Just some juggalo makeshift, I'd definitely say here, just good for some traffic. So just that typical kind of commerce within the aspect, just easy kind of 3 o'clock, just embrace a pitch like that. It's kind of amidst like the work shift type fair, so it's just some music for like juggalo type fashions within the product, and just blue collar type fashions of to and fro as far as those pitches can go. Good type product for that. Basically, Watch My Ride is a nice one within these aspects as well. This has some good spiciness, but I like this particular one. It's like a red hot, kind of edgy, getting riled and exhilarate within the products over here as far as these fairs going to go. Snacks and Whips, those type products, these are kind of smoke type fashion, just getting loud. Just some exhilarate. It's definitely a blitzer within these aspects. Definite banger within these aspects. Just a loud ass night as far as this fair is going to happen. So just to miss the pitch as far as talking about it within the product, it is something. It's kind of a primer for getting ready to head out. It's kind of a primer for like the product, like the after effects, like the consistent. Just some good repeat bumps to kind of play within like the product of the night spin as far as this fair is going to happen. Just has a good energetic type of. This is the sort of energy that this album needed within the product. It's not to say this album doesn't have energy. It's getting a 10 out of 10. It's just the pitch for saying this has the ferocious bite, as like that more carnal type stuff that. Watch My Ride just has the more carnal type stuff within the aspects, just more inspired within the tone. Songs like Watch My Ride just have a little bit more carnal and venomous type flair about it as far as this pitch comes. So just excellent within the aspects as far as those tones are going to happen. There are some other ones on here as far as these pitches kind of go, like Haunted Bumps. I forgot to talk about this one first. It's kind of the product. I should have talked about this one first. This is the most popular song according to Spotify, but Haunted Bumps, like a Lyrian fog, kind of gaslight afterthought, I'd say, within pitches behind it. Fast food runs, so these type of products, but then getting towards it here, just some good post work kind of missed as far as this pitch kind of happens. So just missed the tone. Yeah, so just very much missed like the October mist. It's kind of quiet as a mouse as far as this pitch can happen, just within the tone, just really kind of where you could hear yourself walking. Some type pitches within the format, just kind of appreciate like things like things like the owls chirping and some of those type products within the tone behind it. This the crickets, some of those type aspects within the more or less is the particular type fashions have those. Is how those gas type facets kind of happen within it. Ride the Tempest is a nice one within these pitches as well. It's like an insano kind of parkside out and around, I'd say, within the products over here. Just a frolic, I'd have to say, within the aspects as far as this one's going to happen. Just good dap about this particular song. Just some socialized, easy, and kind of a drop run to kind of have. So this the product. It's typical more ICP within fashion, just like the gathering pitches like that is kind of the ordeal. More or less backyard type noise also within pitches. Just parkside, some of those type of ordeals that just having. Get up and just hang out for a few pitches like that, sit for a spell as far as those fast it's going to happen just to miss the pitch. There are some ones, like there is socialized on here. I feel like this is a more widespread type album just in terms of the appeal, like the variety that it kind of has within these pitches, but you do get some classic ones within these aspects. Haunted Bumps is definitely good for like some Taco Bell runs, like the night quiet mist as far as those pitches going to happen. Alley Rat's kind of an uptown type one for drugstore runs. The Tower kind of has like some parkside type stuff. Ride the Tempest kind of has some parkside type stuff. The Party, some of these, the Party and What About Now are like vintage kind of Cottonmouth Kings, ICP, Twisted type fare. Watch My Ride is like the initial kind of conduct of getting ready to hit up a club and just the ass. Watch My Ride is like some good spiciness just to miss like the club fare and just the night of kind of going back and forth between club and vehicle as far as those pitches kind of go. Some good type products. The Sky Is Falling is a nice one within these aspects as well as like a horrific kind of reminds of Twisted kind of. The Sky Is Falling is a nice one within these pitches. Good way to kick off the album. It's like a horrific kind of reminds of Twisted in like a doomsday type sense. Definitely like songs like Fall Apart. Some of those type ones within the aspect. It's the frenetic kind of social pandemonium I had to say about this one. Songs like a frenetic kind of social pandemonium I'd have to say about this one, just an overall hot type one. So it's just the pitch as far as saying within the fair, as far as these pitches can happen. I just look within the product of it. To just very much amidst the carnage, just like the particular fair. Of course, ICP would be excellent at doing these particular type of songs in the pitches, like the Paranoia pitches like that. So it's just some good type of ordeals. Kind of within the fashion, like a 3-6 Mafia kind of Paranoia, but just more amidst like the product of just kind of being uncentered, just kind of liking the doomsday type fashion, just pandemonium about it, where this is kind of more panicky. So it's a good type of product to get this sort of harnessment. Twisted's pretty good at this, but it's excellent that ICP can do the. It's excellent ICP kind of doing these within these products of it. News at 6 o'clock is a nice one within these pitches as well as like a Red Eyes kind of smoke trip, I'd say, during like homebound kind of product pitches like that. It's a Cold Sprite, some stuff ordeals, Quiznos, some stuff products within pitch behind it. A good song to loiter to. It's more homebound type ness. It's easy kind of kick back with pals pitches like that. It just easy nearby, some stuff products that just like the particular kind of unwind and spill as far as those pitches kind of having a standard gap within a sense. Goes pretty well within the aspect. Just more in a later type fashion. a little bit more centered, less kind of less News at 6 o'clock is a little bit more of a lounge type song compared to Bitch I Lied within those products, but they both work for more homebound typeness within products for those first games. So just more missed domain type product pitches like that. The Tower is a nice one as well. It's a real excellent type one. It's like a pulsating, kind of freaky, typical kind of 90s ICP, I'd say, within the product of it. Just some funhouse kind of torment and contemplated, I'd say here. Good for some Fritos pitch like that. Just kind of snacks in by pitches. Some of those type fairs. Just some ire as far as those pitch kind of. So just miss the product. This is the sort of fare that you would expect from ICP way back in 2000, 1999, 1997. Some of those type pitches. Just that typical ire that they particularly had. This like familiar kind of carnival type torment within these aspects as far as these tones could go. So just vintage ICP is not on here as much full bound within Sunny type pitches. Kind of the fair as far as talking about within those pitches behind it. It's just some differential type aspects, but it's a good type flair. I think I more or less talked about every song within these pitches now. Oh yeah, there's another song I haven't talked about. Play My Songs, another nice one within these products. Play My Songs like a Syrian and pounding kind of get hell. Play My Song is like a Syrian and pounding Helator kind of vintage 90s ICP, I'd say, within products of it. Just some jungle. Play My Song would definitely be like some juggalo kind of dungeon music, I'd say, within products of it. Just good song to hang to, pitches like that. So excellent type vibes of like familiar kind of ICP pitches like that as far as those are just kind of just demented and just brooding as far as those aspects can go. Dismiss the pitch. I like that particular format. I just like the typical clown and juggalo type formats within the Spice Bond. Easy kind of smoke trips, some of those backyard type fashions, juggalo type iconic kind of juggalo bangers as far as those pitch kind of goes. Excellent type flares. So I look at them pitch as far as saying within the product of it. Maybe looking after the aspects here as far as these pitches kind of go. I think I talked about all 16 songs within these formats. So excellent type pitches about this album. So yeah, I look after this and then products of this album gets a 10 out of 10. Social score is probably going to get like a 9.5 or 9.75. I look at them pitch as far as saying I'll give it a 9.75 because the quality is on here within pitches like that. They're pretty capital, obviously them being the head honchos of juggalo movement within these ordeals is a pitch as far as saying, but it's kind of the product as far as saying. I realize that once again with Wikipedia, with what they said, this is their 23rd overall release since at least 91 or 92 pitches like that. It's kind of the ordeals, but it's just kind of product as far as saying. It has some of these moments on here, but it just feels more bewildered with the aspect. Not to say bewildered in terms like they're wary and just tired as far as this, but it's just more the aspect that it's just not as venomous. This kind of aspect, it just feels more kind of haphazard in terms like the product of just kind of glancing blows, not really taking too much of it serious with the aspect. It's not to say they didn't take this product serious, this kind of tone in terms of like some of the songs on here, like when you think of songs like The Tower, Play My Song, like Watch My Ride, some of that pitch that have like the typical kind of more crazed type factor, like the most vicious the ICP can typically kind of get. It just feels more has a little bit more frivolity about it, I'd say, within pitches. More frivolity, more exploration in terms of like the terms of like something for like more jaunts and day fair pitches like that. Dismiss the ordeal, kind of getting to know some things, pitches like that. It's kind of the boogie of just kind of like bit standard kind of hop and bop. It's more standard kind of hop and bop and kind of more pedantic kind of. This kind of has more frivolity and lollygag as far as this pitch goes, but it's just excellent with the pitch. This is not as normally kind of insane-o clown type pitch within the normal type format when you think of 90s and early 2000s type versus the pitch. It just has a little bit more centeredness towards the aspect of getting a juggalo album that's probably I would have to say more or less one of their more commercial ones that they've done within these pitches. It didn't have a charting single and it didn't really have any promotion, but that's about the only fair about it. It has the aspects, everything that would kind of be something that screams more commercial and pop in terms like the aspect, something in terms like a breakthrough, but just didn't have the promotion. That's the only real thing that lacks. It's just the pitch, the attempts behind it, just trying to break into new markets, kind of adapt to more lighted, adapt to more light and kind of lighthearted, or not so much full-bound lighthearted, but just kind of more glissy type aspects within the tones as far as this pitch kind of goes. It's the product as far as getting a relatively more or less commercial kind of ICP that does have Mikey Clark production. So it's excellent type fair to kind of get that here. So 9.75 social, just needed a single. In terms of the future, like ICP dropped The Knot in the summer of 2025. So it's this pitch as far as saying they just recently dropped as far as these pitch kind of have. So it's missed the product now. By the time this album comes out, by the time this review comes out, it's probably going to be more or less like the end of 2025 or maybe even early 2026. 2026. It's the ordeals, but I'm looking after it here. It's kind of missed the product. I reviewed this in September 2025, pitch like that, so it's just the ordeals for us, but this is an easy kind of class here to be able to get. It's just the product has the glancing blows, the viciousness, the viciousness is definitely on here within these products as far as saying that. It's just kind of the products as far as saying you have to look after that. It just has a lot more spill and overall gossip and tea as far as this aspect's going to happen. Just amidst the fair, just like some lollygag and pitches like that as far as this or just kind of just more frivolous and commercial. So it's just as far as saying, but I look after the tone, that's the fair about it.